the fighter of future wars, aerial duels, and victories.
By my order, as per my directive, the United States Air Force has commenced creating the world's first sixth-generation fighter. Absolutely nothing in the world can even come close to it.
Recently, the 47th head of the White House announced the development of the sixth-generation fighter F-47 by the United States.
In fact, the sixth generation of technology will have significantly higher requirements for all the various parameters of the fifth generation.
According to Donald Trump, the new fighters with speeds over 2,000 km/h will be built in the next couple of years, under the current administration. Ahead, the American NGAD program faces billion-dollar investments, long developments, and refinements. At the same time, some data and details about the American F-47 fighter are already known today. And that means it's the perfect time for the arsenal. To begin with, we should sort things out. The previously mentioned American NGAD program, Next Generation Air Dominance, is a crucial branch of the US Air Force specializing in the creation of sixth-generation fighters that will ensure US air dominance. The program has been developing for several years. In 2018, the US Congress estimated that one aircraft under the NGAD program could cost up to $300 million. The American agency Associated Press estimates the total cost of the project to be at least $20 billion. It is thanks to this program that work on the F-47 fighter has been ongoing for almost 5 years, and test flights have even been conducted on experimental versions of the aircraft. Over the past 5 years, the X-Planes aircraft have laid the foundation for the F-47. They have logged hundreds of flight hours. They tested advanced concepts and proved that we can confidently push the boundaries of technology. On March 21st, it was announced in the Oval Office that the developer of the future fighter will be the American company Boeing. This surprised many, as the previous fifth-generation fighter, the F-35, was developed by Boeing's competitor, Lockheed Martin. At the time, the F-35, just like the F-47 today, was called a virtually invisible bird to enemy eyes. In fact, stealth technologies and, consequently, the low visibility of the aircraft are one of the key differences between different generations of fighters.
What determines visibility? It's the effective radar cross-section, RCS. In fourth generation aircraft, it varied in whole square meters from 2 to 3 to 10, so in fifth generation aircraft, this surface already changes in tenths of a square meter or even in hundreds. First. Second, these aircraft will be exceptionally tightly integrated into all the control systems of the ground forces.
Based on the published photos of the F-47 and the fact that Boeing is developing the fighter, experts and media agree that the key points in designing the sixth-generation Iron Bird, especially regarding the body and aerodynamic shape, will be two Phantom Works projects from the late 1990s. The prototype, Aircraft X-36 and Bird of Prey, the distinctive feature of these two planes is the absence of vertical stabilizers.
Bird of Prey, a predatory bird that was developed by McDonnell Douglas, which has since ceased to exist. And a McDonald's in Bangkok. Boeing acquired this project along with the McDonnell Douglas company. And this concept already has an aerodynamic shape, and requirements have been developed for it. The concepts currently under consideration are tailless. That is, they completely lack vertical stabilizers, while the F-35 has them. Sixth-generation fighters will be more like the B-2.
At one time, the jewel of the American fifth-generation fighter was specifically the Rockwell Collins helmet, custom-made for each F-35 pilot. The cost of one such device is about $500,000. This tool endowed the pilot with impressive and valuable functions.
That is, there is also a helmet-mounted targeting system. What does this mean? The aircraft flies forward. The missile is guided left or right by the pilot's head movement up to 90 degrees, or even programmatically, it first launches forward, then turns and flies towards the target that is pursuing the F-35 aircraft. It gives the aviator a 360-degree view because it receives additional information not only from what the pilot sees with their own eyes, but also from the optoelectronic system and the radar system.
In sixth-generation aircraft, such helmets for pilots will not be present, as experts predict there is a high likelihood that F-47 fighters will fly without humans on board at all.
The sixth generation fighter is generally planned as automated unmanned systems, not limited in maneuverability and speed by the human factor. That is, currently the limitation is that a person cannot withstand 9G. These fighters, like missiles, will need to have greater maneuverability in an unmanned version, to fly with higher overloads, meaning to have better maneuverability.
In parallel with the development of the fighter, American military companies will begin work on its weapon systems. One of the weak points of the F-35 was its short range in engaging enemy aircraft.
So now, the F-35, the fifth generation, right? It's supposedly stealth, but the maximum range of the missiles is 160 kilometers. Russian fifth generation fighters have radars and optionally have missiles with a range of up to 300 kilometers.
But sixth generation fighters will not be limited to just missiles. The USA, Israel, Britain, China, and other advanced military powers are gradually moving towards integrating laser weapons into their armed forces. In most cases, such as with Israel and its Iron Beam, which is expected to be deployed by the end of 2025, it is about an air defense system. In the case of the American F-47, experts predict the integration of a laser into the weapon system of this fighter.
Sixth generation fighters will be equipped with powerful laser and electromagnetic weapons and advanced systems. That means they will be capable, for example, of targeting something such as unmanned aerial vehicles or drones and destroying them with non-ammunition weapons. That is, in essence, an extremely powerful electromagnetic pulse that disables the navigation system or control system of an enemy device. Or laser targeting, which means effectively causing real mechanical damage to an enemy device without using guns, missiles, and other conventional means of attack. This involves the use of advanced technology and precision instruments to focus laser beams with pinpoint accuracy. These beams can disrupt or disable electronic systems, sensors, and other critical components of the target.
It is evident that Washington will spare no expense in creating a sixth generation fighter. For example, the US initially planned to invest $200 billion in the development of the F-35, but ultimately invested over $1 trillion. The main incentive for the Americans is the Chinese, who are not lagging behind them at all. China, like the US, has its own modern fifth generation fighter, the G-20, which was commissioned in 2017, and in 2024, a model of the sixth generation fighter, the White Emperor, was presented at the Sukhois 2024 air show. In a situation where the entire military philosophy of the West is built on the postulate of air dominance, the importance of the F-47 for the US cannot be overstated.
The entire concept of NATO's combat operations is based on achieving air superiority. First air superiority, then everything else. Aircraft with better armament, which is truly superior, with better onboard defense systems. First, they systematically and thoroughly destroy and completely ground Russian aviation. And after that, they effectively do to the ground forces what they did to Saddam Hussein's troops during the retreat from Kuwait. That is, they create piles of scrap metal, stretching several dozen kilometers.
That's all. Don't forget to write in the comments about which types of weapons you would like to learn more about. Like this video, and of course, subscribe to our new Arsenal channel. The link is in the description below the video.